Welcome back. I'm Rick Atkinson, founder and president of RA Retirement Advisors. Over the past number of weeks, a number of you have written to me and you've shared with me your retirement visions and plans, what's working, what's not working, and you've posed some questions and hopefully I've been able to help. Now, one of the questions, though, that was in a number of those emails was basically, Rick, what got you into the business of helping people retire successfully? So let me just share with you a little bit about my background. My career was in human resources. I was a human resource specialist, and I worked in a number of industries in different locations. And over that time period, I saw many people retire. Some successfully, but the majority not so much. So I wondered, what makes for a successful retirement? And I started to create notes as I remembered each one of these situations. And then I went out and I interviewed well over 200 successful retirees. And I put the question to them, what makes for a successful retirement? And as a result, my first book was Don't Just Retire, Live It, Love It. And it's a personal planning guide to enhance life after work. And I wrote it for people who are between the ages of 45 and 65 who want a happy and stimulating retirement. But also for those who are already retired who want to add a little sizzle to their golden years. Now, what I included in the book was insights, true to life stories. Obviously, I was getting those from the interviews, and self-completing exercises. And so what I wanted to do is create a pathway for boomers and those that are older than boomers to make a successful transition from work to life after work. Now, some of the topics that I include in the book, things such as the importance of a positive attitude, money management, and what sort of techniques can be used as far as money is concerned. What's the best time of year to retire? How to build a balanced health and leisure and well-being strategy. How to manage time. How to have fun. How to live retirement to its fullest. Information that I was getting from those 200 plus successful retirees. Once the book was published, I went on the speaking trail. I was speaking throughout North America, and the response that I was getting from my audience is that, hey, Rick, this is great information. But I was also getting another question, and that was, Rick, what's the short list? What's kind of the Cole's notes, as it were? And so I wondered about this, and I went back to a number of those folks that I had interviewed, the 200 plus successful retirees, and asked them as to what is this short list? What are the kind of the nuts and bolts of a successful retirement? But in those conversations, it got us into other discussions. And so, as a result, my second book, Strategies for Retiring Right, was published. And in its 27 chapters, I have new stories and insights. Obviously, I was getting those from the folks that I was talking with. Different set of reflective exercises, and some additional topics, things such as the importance of legacy. How do you want to be remembered when you're 90, 95, and 100 years old? You look back on your life. Because one of the things that successful retirees told me is that they use legacy as a guide to creating their vision of retirement. Another question that was explored was deciding whether to sell or remain in your current home. And the importance of this, not only from a monetary point of view and living comfortably, but also the emotionality that's around this whole question of whether you stay or whether you go. And there's other new topics that I included in the book, including working with a mentor, finding somebody that is already successfully retired and having them help you, in other words, help mentor you. And another topic, finding and using a financial advisor And I don't know how many times I've heard from people in my general audiences, my financial advisor doesn't understand me. My financial advisor only wants to talk about money and product. What about the relationship I'm going to have with my husband when he retires or when I retire? And all of those issues. So there is a chapter on how to find the right financial advisor for you. Then time went along, and I started to see another problem. And that is when you lose your job before you've even thought about retirement, being downsized, outsourced. And so I then went back and I interviewed people who literally lost their jobs well before they were looking at retirement. And I remember a conversation that I had with a fellow who was 55 years old. And he was an IT manager for a large insurance company. And he had just been downsized. And over breakfast, we chatted about his situation. And he looked across the table at me and said, "Rick, I think I'm now retired." He said, "I don't think I will be able to get another job in IT. And so now what do I do? This is something that I wasn't expecting. I thought I'd be working till 65 or older." So out of all of those conversations, I wrote my third book, Why Me and No Gold Watch? And it basically concerns job loss and the prospect of retiring before you actually expected it. And my main character in the book is Sally McBride, 57-year-old middle manager who was terminated due to a downsizing. And Sally's dilemma as to whether she seeks another position or retire. And so I walk her through. She meets a number of friends, acquaintances, and gets information that she uses to make this decision of whether to retire or whether, in fact, to look for a new job. Again, what I've included in the book are true-to-life stories, self-reflective exercises, but I've also included in Why Me model retirement visions and plans so that you can kind of look at these plans and compare them to what you are in fact creating. For those who are interested, Strategies for Retiring Right and Why Me and No Gold Watch can be obtained through Amazon Books. Please visit my website, whencaniretire.ca, for blogs, tapes, and additional information, and for contacting me. I would love to hear from you. Thank you until next time.